What is the role of NGOs in advocating for the right to housing? What role do non-governmental organizations play in advocating for the right to housing? This question is vital as we look at contemporary issues and human rights anthropology. Non-governmental organizations, often referred to as NGOs, are essential in this advocacy. They work tirelessly to protect housing rights and prevent forced evictions. Vulnerable populations, including low-income families and indigenous peoples, often face the threat of losing their homes. NGOs engage in legal advocacy, lobbying governments to recognize and enforce housing rights. They push for policies that ensure everyone has access to safe and affordable housing. Another significant aspect of NGO work is raising public awareness about housing as a fundamental human right. By educating the public, NGOs aim to build support for housing rights. They mobilize communities to demand their entitlements. This educational role makes human rights concepts accessible and encourages participation in housing-related decisions. NGOs also provide advocacy services and influence policy. They act as intermediaries between affected communities and policymakers. By gathering evidence and documenting violations, they advocate for reforms that address housing inequality. Their advocacy is rooted in local experiences and broader human rights frameworks, ensuring policies reflected the needs of diverse populations. Supporting displaced and marginalized groups is another critical function of NGOs. They understand that housing issues are closely linked to cultural identity and social structures. NGOs work with displaced groups to secure housing that respects their cultural and social needs. This includes advocating for resettlement that maintains community cohesion. NGOs navigate complex social dynamics and understand that advocacy outcomes can be unpredictable. Securing housing rights for one group might unintentionally disadvantage another. They design interventions that consider community dynamics, such as gender relations and social hierarchies. Moreover, NGOs challenge power structures and donor influences that can shape their priorities. They strive to remain as accountable to the communities they serve. This commitment helps ensure that grassroots empowerment is not undermined by outside pressures. In practical terms, NGOs combine direct support, like legal aid and community organizing, with broader advocacy campaigns aimed at systemic change. They facilitate dialogue between communities and authorities, promote inclusive urban planning, and monitor compliance with international human rights standards related to housing. Overall, NGOs play a vital role in translating the right to housing from abstract legal principles into real improvements in people's lives. They remain as sensitive to the cultural and social contexts that shape housing needs and rights. This approach ensures that advocacy is not just about securing shelter but also about affirming dignity and social justice for all.